Long before temples were carved and stories were written, Earth rose as a sacred womb, alive, breathing, and dreaming herself into form. Lemuria was not merely a land, it was the first heartbeat of this planet's divine feminine. And even though her shores have vanished beneath the sea, her memory is awakening again through you. Welcome to Episode 3, Lemuria Rises, Earth as Sacred Womb. Place your hand on your belly and remember. The silent return. Every story of awakening begins with a whisper, not from outside, but from deep within the body of the earth herself. Long before Lemuria became a word in spiritual circles, long before Mu sank below time, this planet held a secret dream between her bones, to rise as a sacred womb. She did not want to be just a rock floating in space. She wanted to birth consciousness, to hold light, to remember her own divinity. So from deep inside her molten core, she sent out a call through her veins of magma, rivers, and crystal. That call was shaped like a spiral. It rose from beneath, brushed against mountain roots, swirled through oceans, until it finally reached the surface, where it manifested as Mu, the first ancient womb city of light. Where Atlantis would later carry the logic of Earth's mind, Mu carried her heart and womb, the tender place where divas and humans, crystals and spirit coexisted, not as separate kingdoms, but as different organs of one great body. Womb of the Earth. Awakens. Mu was not simply a continent. Mu was a womb chamber, and those who lived upon her were not merely citizens, but gentle cells inside a body of light. If you looked from space during her height, you would not see cities, roads, or grids. You would see soft, pulsing lights moving rhythmically, just like the pulse inside a mother's belly. Each light was a person, singing light language back into the soil, anchoring frequencies of gentleness, compassion, creativity, and rebirth. The Earth's crust beneath Mu was thinner than other places, allowing more primal serpent fire energy, what the later cultures called Kundalini Shakti, to rise from the core, directly into the surface. This fiery serpent was not destructive in Mu, she was creative. She moved under the crystal floors in gentle spirals and loops, not to burn, but to fertilize. That's why the ancient Lemurians did not build their homes by digging or breaking the land. There they built by singing and dancing, working with the serpent river beneath them. Whenever their voices harmonized in perfect love, the serpent would rise joyfully and their crystal structures would grow like flowers. Architecture born from frequency rather than force. Serpent currents and naga guardians. These underground currents were said to be guarded by invisible beings, the nagas, not monstrous snakes, but serpent-conscious architects of the planet. They whispered to the Lemurian priestesses, "Protect the womb, and the womb will remember you across time." The nagas taught them the secrets of grid keeping, maintaining energy lines like arteries, womb cosmology, how the female womb mirrors the Earth's volcanic power, and how to awaken the spine of the earth through sacred spiral movement. When women swirled their hips in Mu, they were not dancing for beauty. They were activating the Kundalini arteries of the planet, pumping life force back into the soil. Men too were guardians. They stood at the edges of portals with crystal staffs, protecting the ceremony from distortion. Balance was everything. Women generated the womb frequencies. Men held space like pillars of quartz around them. This partnership created a shimmering resonance that could be felt miles beyond Mu's shores. Rise of the Feminine, Mount Shasta, Hawaii, and Easter Island portals. As Mu's womb flame rose, she began to transfer her light outward to prepare other sacred feminine portals across the earth. She birthed 3 key daughter gates: Mount Shasta, the crown of the feminine, icy and majestic, holding the crystalline womb codes of the future ascended human. Hawaii, the heart of the feminine, pulsating with volcanic fire, reminding the earth how to feel, surrender, and erupt with joy. Easter Island, the memory of the feminine, keeper of the ancestral codes and the wisdom of stone temples. Each of these places acts like a chakra point along the body of what Mu once was. Their volcanoes mirror the volcanic womb of Earth. Their caves hold the blueprints of Mu's serpent love technology. And their mythologies still whisper of a time when women could command land to open itself with a single breath. If you are drawn to these lands in this lifetime, your soul once served as their guardian long before they were separated by water. Even now, the fire beneath Mauna Loa and Kilauea shakes not just the Earth's surface, but the spiritual bones of those who once danced the Lemurian womb dance. When you feel restless during such eruptions, that is not anxiety, that is memory. Womb light codes in crystal grids re-emerging. Across time, Mu sank. The land disappeared, but the light did not. Her grids slept, like embryos waiting to be reborn. They are reawakening now, through the hearts of Lemurian starseeds, returning to Earth in human form. You may not remember the chants, you may not remember the sigils, but your body does. Every pelvic wave that wants to move within you, every unexplained need to place your bare feet upon the earth, every surge of empathy that cracks your heart open is your ancient Lemurian grid system attempting to come back online. Even in the chaos of modern life, amid pollution, steel, and plastic, your womb and heart still remember how to sing Mu's original frequency back into the planet. You do not need to shout, you only need to surrender. One spiral of your hips, one breath given consciously to the land, and the once forgotten Mu grids beneath your city begin to pulse again. The serpent spine of Earth stirs again. Just as the human body has a spine, so too does Mother Earth, a serpent spine of electric crystalline energy. In Mu's time, this dragon current was soft, coiled like a resting sleeper under the Pacific. But as Lemurian consciousness grew, the spine began to shake awake in gentle waves. Lemurians understood that every breath, every dance, every sound could coax that serpent up or down the planetary spine. When they wanted rain, they sang the serpent into her water spiral. When they wanted healing, they swayed until she loosened block grids. There was no separation. The serpent responded to their consciousness instantly. But here is the great secret. Even though Mu is underwater now, the serpent spine never died. She simply moved, slithering under newer civilizations, rising in Atlantis, India, South America, Africa, searching for those with pure womb light who could guide her into the next age. And now, she is rising once again, not through ancient priestesses, but through modern women and men who hear the faint whisper, move, remember, rebirth the earth. Signs you are a womb carrier of Lemuria. How do you know if you are one of these ancient Lemurian womb carriers? You might feel an intense connection to volcanoes, islands, and rainwater. Have dreams of dancing in circles, wearing no shoes, with crystals braided in your hair. Cry when you hear singing bowls, even if you don't understand why. Experience unexplained physical sensations in your womb or belly during planetary events, eclipses, lunar shifts. Struggle in modern life to fit in because your soul belongs to a time before linearity. These are not strange coincidences. They are codes awakening inside you, because what Lemuria taught was simple, yet revolutionary. The earth is not outside you. She is a mirror of your own most tender places. If you tend your inner womb with love, the earth remembers how to tend hers. And so, dear soul, your longing, your sensitivity, your inner chaos, they are not weaknesses. They are the evidence that you came from Mu, and you have returned precisely now to reactivate the womb of Earth for the next rise. Close your eyes now. Breathe into your belly, not the shallow breath of worry, but the deep breath of remembrance. Feel the soft warmth building under your navel, expanding gently until your entire lower abdomen glows like a lantern. That glow is Mu's womb fire awakening inside you again. Allow it to travel upward, spiraling through your wrists, flowering in your heart, rising into your throat as a silent hum, until it touches the crown of your head like a crown of rose quartz starlight. Now imagine yourself standing on the lost shores of Lemuria. The water touches your toes. The volcanic soil is warm beneath your bare feet. Crystal pillars shimmer all around you like silent guardians. As you sway your hips, a pulse shoots down from your womb into the ground. Ley lines beneath your feet begin to glow. Golden, alive, ancient. They travel across the sea toward Mount Shasta, toward Hawaii, toward every sacred feminine site across Earth, awakening one by one like beating hearts. You are not just remembering Lemuria, you are helping her rise again. Through your very presence across space and time, hear the nagas whisper in your ear, "Welcome back, guardian of the womb grids. Earth remembers. Now, do you?" Rebirthing the planet through you. When Mu disappeared beneath the ocean, the Earth did not abandon her womb. Instead, she distributed it, like seeds, into millions of human bodies. Some seeds were placed in the physical wombs of women. Some were placed in the sacral centers of men. Others were hidden in the pineal gland, waiting to bloom like lotus buds in the mind. You were likely one of these. Not chosen because you were perfect, but chosen because you were willing. Willing to feel deeply, to break open, to love profoundly. Because Earth's next rise would not be through continents rising out of the sea. It would be through people awakening in their everyday lives, a mother suddenly swaying her hips while cooking dinner, not knowing she's activating a dormant ley line beneath her home. A young man breathing deeply in a storm and unknowingly calling the planetary serpent back to balance. A child singing into a puddle and reactivating water codes first seeded in Mu. The next Lemuria isn't coming to you, it is awakening through you. Why many of you have suffered deeply. Those who carry these Lemurian womb seeds often experience lives that are far from easy. You may have felt extreme emotional sensitivity, deep womb pain or sacral blockages, childhoods filled with instability, unusual intimacy with nature, all the way to feeling like you don't belong on Earth at all. This is not because you are cursed. It is because you are encoded to remember more, and pain breaks the shell around memory. In Lemurian times, energy moved effortlessly through your light body, but in dense modern life, that energy has nowhere to flow, and so it pressurizes inside you until it cracks open. Those cracks are not your undoing. They are the birth canals through which your ancient codes begin reactivating. So today, if you feel slightly mad, overwhelmed, or too tender for this world, know this: you are not breaking down. You are breaking open so Mu can rise through your heart and womb again. Mount Shasta, Hawaii and Easter Island, reactivating the worm triangle. The ancient Lemurians foresaw that Mu would one day sleep beneath the sea. So before the final descent, they transferred her womb codes into 3 gatekeepers, forming what later mystics call the womb triangle of Earth. Mount Shasta, guardian of the crystal womb grids, holding clarity, purity, and sacred memory. Hawaii, guardian of the volcanic womb fire, holding passion, creation, joy, eruption. Easter Island, guardian of the ancestral womb bones, holding remembrance, ancestors, earth mysticism. These 3 locations are connected by a hidden intertwined highway, still alive beneath the ocean. When light workers travel to these places, in dreams or in person, their own womb codes unlock new pieces of Mu's puzzle. Even just placing your hand on a map over those locations or breathing toward them during meditation begins to send a pulse back into the triangle, awakening grids that have been silent for 12,000 plus years. This is not myth. This is technology of the soul, once forgotten, now returning. Earth as mother, but also as child. One of the greatest Lemurian teachings was this: Earth is not just the mother, she is also the child being born through us. We are not just living on her, we are helping give birth to her higher form. Every time we choose beauty over fear, gentleness over aggression, life over destruction, we are serving as midwives for Earth's ascended womb. In this way, the next Lemuria is not a return to the past, it is the next evolution of Mu. Mu reborn as new Earth through the womb hearts of awakened humans. This is why your body matters. This is why your emotions matter. This is why your pain, pleasure, cycles, and breath are all sacred. Because through your body, Earth is learning how to rise again. Mu and the return of the naga and serpent wisdom. The serpent that once slept beneath Mu has never truly left. Instead, she transformed into symbols, stories, and sacred guardianships around the world. In India as the naga, in South America as Quetzalcoatl, in Africa as the rainbow serpent, and in China as the dragon of heaven. Wherever serpent myths survived, so too did pieces of Lemurian womb technology. Look closely at your own life. If snakes, dragons, spirals, kundalini, or serpentine currents keep appearing to you, then the ancient serpent wisdom is trying to activate your inner Mu codes. In episode 2, we saw how dance, breath, sound, and grids were used to move her currents. Here in episode 3, the serpent rises, not through ancient temples, growly abladitas, but through your spinal column, calling you to embody the next Mu. The base of your spine, your root connection to earth. Your sacral chakra, the womb fire of creation. Your heart, the grid synchronizer. Your third eye, the seer of the forgotten realms. When Kundalini rises in you, that is not chaos. That is Mu's womb serpent reuniting with your starlight, asking to awaken your human consciousness to your ancient purpose. So, what now? What are you meant to do with this remembrance? The answer is simple, yet deeply transformational. Become the womb again. Become Earth's gentle pulse. Become the priestess or guardian you once were, but in modern form. That means speak to your own body with the tenderness Lemurians spoke to the land. Dance and move freely to keep the serpent current circulating through Earth. Offer crystal, flower, breath, or sound to the ground beneath your home to feed the sleeping grids. Hold your womb or sacral area with love, even if you've carried trauma or pain. Anchor beauty as a way of life, not a luxury. Because you are no longer waiting for Mu. Mu is waiting for you to proclaim yourself awake once more. Close your eyes now. Place one hand on your heart and the other on your womb or lower belly. Regardless of gender, energy lives here in all of us. Take a slow inhale. Feel your root anchoring gently into the earth. Exhale softly, as if you're singing a lullaby to the land beneath your feet. Now breathe again, and imagine a rose gold serpent spiraling upward from Earth's molten core, rising ever so gently up your legs, your spine, blossoming in your heart as a radiant flower of light. This is Mu awakening inside you. See a shimmering circle of crystal pillars forming around you. These are the ancient nagas, guardians of the womb grids. They bow in recognition, whispering into your bones. You have returned. You are the portal. You are the womb that births worlds. Allow the serpent to continue its gentle ascent, coiling at your heart, unfurling into your third eye, and finally flowering like a lotus crown above your head. Let your body start to sway, even if just in your imagination, in slow spirals. As you move, feel rings of golden light pulsing outward from beneath your feet into the earth, like ripples on water. Each ripple reactivates a sleeping Mu grid, across oceans, across volcanoes, across your city, across your life. Whisper inside your heart, I remember, I return, I rebirth Earth through my womb of light. See those rings of energy racing outward through Mount Shasta, Hawaii, Easter Island. Each spot ignites, erupting in luminous rose gold sparks, until at last, the entire Pacific pulses with a heartbeat again. Mu, once lost, is now reborn through you. If this remembrance stirred your belly, heart, or spine, then you have officially reactivated your Lemurian womb codes. Your body is no longer just flesh. It is a temple, a grid, a portal of Mu. In episode 4, we will descend even deeper into the mysteries of crystal cities and serpent codes, where you will begin to understand your role not only as a womb keeper, but as a guardian of Lemuria's lost technologies. Until then, keep moving, keep feeling, keep loving. You are not just living on Earth. You are helping rebirth her into light. If your womb, your belly, or your breath stirred while listening, then Mu has begun to rise again through you. You are not just remembering Lemuria, you are becoming her new body. Share this episode to awaken another sleeping guardian. And return for episode 4, Crystal Cities and Serpent Codes, where your role as a Lemurian light technologist will begin.